Hello everyone, nubkeks here, welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video we are checking out the buff to Inithwe Bloodtwin and seeing how good he's going to be. I pre-tested this. We're going to compare his damage before to his damage after, and I actually don't know what's going to happen coming up, but I've got high hopes. I've got very high hopes. So let's dive in. Quick look at his kit. He does have, by the way, an attack in all battles aura, which is really nice. The passive is the big thing that makes Inithwe special. Heals them by his max HP 30% whenever he kills someone. That's cool, but this is the big one. Enemies killed by this champion cannot be revived. Every kill he gets blocks revive, which is just phenomenally good. So strong. Can really help you in the arena. Really help you against things like the Sifi waves in Doom Tower as well. His A1 does a 30% max HP decrease. That hasn't been changed. His A2 is a triple hitter that does bonus damage based off the HP the target has lost, the percentage of HP. 3-turn cooldown. That hasn't changed. What has changed is this, though. His AoE hit, Tormenting Whispers, when it's booked, it's a 3-turn cooldown. AoE attack, when booked up, 100% chance of placing Leech debuff for 2 turns. Now, here we go. If we check out his base attack, by the way, his base attack is really high at 1700, but the issue is this. This was him pre-buff, right? He had a 3.6 multiplier in his A1, which is actually pretty decent. That's fairly standard. He had a 5.4 multiplier. That's including all 3 of the hits on his A2, and then you get bonus damage based on the percentage of the HP lost by the target. So if they are 40% HP down, so they're sitting at 60% HP left, you do that 40% bonus. If they were missing 80% of their HP, 80% bonus damage. So his A2 hits really hard. His single target stuff was good. His AoE, though, is only a 3.3, which is pretty low. I tend to look at an AoE with a 4 times attack multiplier as being kind of your standard one. Trunda, for instance, has one of the strongest ones in the game. She has a 6 times multiplier. She has 2 3-time hitters on her double hitting A3 ability. So 3.3 was quite low. Let's find out what he's been buffed to. So to give us an example, to give us a sample here, this was what I recorded on Doom Tower Normal Floor 1 before the buffs. This is him coming in with his AoE hit. Here we go, Tormenting Whispers. It comes in, slam. He's doing 29k here, 37k, 39, 44. So that's what he was doing on this hit. You can see the block revives popping off as well. I came in, I did it a second time. Let's see how he did round 2. And now we're going to go and test it out live and see where we're at. Here he goes. He goes in again. Boom. We've got 33,000 to 48,000 and so on and so forth. So I basically went through, and this is what we did. The pre-buff AoE test, there's always going to be like 10% variance, which is, I guess, exactly what happened here. 10% variance in terms of damage done. The first hit, we were doing 29k to 44k. The second time, 33k to 48k. Obviously, we've got Helm Smasher as well, which can throw things off on him. He does have Helm Smasher here. This is the Mastery build. I haven't changed this. This is the Masteries that were given to him. Just Helm Smasher behind me. And then for his artifacts, he's in Cruel and Crit Damage. So he doesn't have Savage or anything like that. And he's built with 6k attack, 200k crit damage. So not a crazy build. But let's go see how hard he hits now. And let's see if we can then deduce what sort of damage he's going to be doing, with this new sort of build. So here we actually, so we can alter this. Here's one thing: go in and turn off super raids, and will get rid of your change team bugs and stuff like that, which can happen. So I'm going to be stripping this stuff out. Oh, by the way, huge shout out to let me get the name properly right here, Faizaji. I think I said it right, but huge shout out to Faizaji. He's one of the clan leaders. I think he might be I don't know if he's the main guy. Maybe he's the main guy of like the whole Sin clan cluster, but he let me come on this account. He's a big fan of Inithwe. So yeah, pretty excited for this. So let's go in. Let's see how hard he hits. Here we go. We're coming in the same wave. A3 ability, 1 speed. Here we go. 38 to 60k. Oh, I didn't see what was the lowest on the other side, but I saw there 38k to 60k. This is going to be a bit harder for me because obviously I can't pause and rewind the video. Now we can replay. Look, the bug is fixed. Let's do it one more time. 31 to 56 is what I saw right there. Okay, let's do it one more time then after that. 31k to 56k. This seems like it's going to be a pretty substantial buff. I've not changed any gear, any masteries. This is the exact same stuff. We're going one more time. What do we have? 30 to 54k. So that one, the first one was the biggest one. That was like 30k to 54k. So this is quite interesting. Let me do some quick maths and let me try to get a rough guesstimate here. A guesstimation. I'll spare you the maths live on stream for how much this might have gone up. Okay, guys, so I'm back. Basically, what I did was I took these averages, right? So I added this stuff up. On average, pre-buff, we were hitting for 31k, right? At the minimum, that's the average of those, and then for 46k is the average of the two highest. Post-buff, we were hitting for 33k in the lowest average, and 56k for the average highest. So I took like just the middle point between those numbers, 38.5, 44.5. This gives us an average of a 6 increase, which is about 15%. And when you crunch in the numbers, this brings us to just below 3.8. So I'm wondering, this is obviously not a very, not a broad test. We've got a very small sample size here. So take it with a pinch of salt. 3.8 was roughly the number that I came up with. So I'd say it's somewhere, it's not going to be like, it's not been buffed up to a 6 times multiplier, that's for sure. And it's not like just 3.4. I think 3.8 is fairly likely. That's what they buffed Yakarl to as well. So yeah, initial thoughts when we look at that, if it is now a 3.8 times AoE, I'd say it's actually a fairly standard hitting AoE. It's a good hard hitting AoE ability now that's pretty comparable to other 4-time multipliers. It's a slightly lower multiplier than that, but he has absolutely huge base attack. Now, certainly he's not going to be hitting as hard as a Trunda, but we're going to test him out in Arena now because, look, yeah, he doesn't hit as hard as Trunda. That's fine, but he blocks AoE. He blocks Revive, which is incredibly, incredibly good. So let's, again, we won't even change him up. We're in Gold 5 right now. Let's dive in. Let's start smacking up some teams. So let me build up like a really OP team here. I'm pretty sure I was looking at this account that we've got some crazy OP champions. We do have a Kaimar. We've got 2. Let me double check their stats. So this is a fast Kaimar with good accuracy. Okay, this one is slower. Okay, let's take in the fast one. And this is a dirty team. This is a dirty team. I want to test him at his best first. We've got 2 Duchesses. I'm jealous, man. I've got 1 Kaimar, but no Duchess. This one is fast. This one is also fast. They're pretty similar. Man, this one has 5k defense. Let's put in the first one. Holy moly. Then we are going to put in, I'm pretty sure he has it. I think this is, he's got 2 Necrets. Of course he's got 2. Oh my goodness. So this Necret, does one of them have stone skin? Oh my god. Let's just put in number 1, whatever. And it hardly matters. It's so OP, right? So let's throw them in like this. Okay. Crazy OP team, but I want to see him at like his absolute top level here. I've never played with Necret, so don't know what he can do. Let's just see how disgusting Inithwe can be. So Inithwe's obviously not built in Savage, so he's not crazy, but let's go in. This is a disgusting team. The big weakness of Inithwe is that he's very squishy, guys. He's very squishy. So here we go. Let's actually do this one, not on auto. So we strip their buffs, we put them to sleep. We have increase attack and block debuffs comes in from Duchess. We can put protection. Let's protect Duchess. Why the heck not? And then here he comes, Inithwe. He's going to do his AoE hit here. Whabam! Massive damage. Now, not enough with this build, but he's not in a crazy build. Not enough to one-shot. But here's the thing. Little Miss Annie, she ain't coming back. Revive has been blocked. There's nothing these guys can do. I guess we probably shouldn't have done that with Arbiter, but that's okay, actually. Let's also put a shield on Kaimar, because we can. Everybody shielded up. Let's see how hard he's... actually, we can come in with the AoE again. Whabam. Again, didn't quite kill them. Did he not have increased attack? Maybe it just fell off. Give him increased attack again. And let's put it on full auto now. So if we put him in Savage gear, if we built him up a bit hard to hit harder, he would absolutely be hitting hard. But there we go. Again, he's come in with the ally attack from Necret. And that guy's not standing back up. Wow, 42k hit on his A2. That's a massive hit. We'll see if he can come back around to that soon-ish as well. Oh, he's been put to sleep. That's just rude. Oh, and we got the Necret autoed into doing it on someone else. Okay. Well, we'll get a shot here in a second. Here he comes in. Big smack in A1. He can't be put asleep now. Hopefully Duchess will give him increased attack. There we go. But yeah, I feel like this is a pretty disgusting sort of team. So 24k just against her at the increased defense. Now, the big thing I want to test out here is, let's test out his A2 and see how hard it hits single target, right? How hard does this hit single target? It's going to absolutely rip her apart with her HP being this low. And you can see her max HP being decreased as well. Okay, 19k. And again, that would hit 3 times. So that would be doing about 60,000 damage. So right there, not in Savage gear, We are struggling, I would say, to an extent with only 200k crit damage, no Savage Gear. We're struggling to do crazy, crazy damage. But what we are doing, which is just so good, is look at that blocking revive, right? It doesn't matter if we don't necessarily kill all of them at once here, because he's blocked revive. There's no way for them to stand back up. There's no way for them to stand back up. So yeah, maybe, will I re-gear him in Savage? Let me re-gear him in Savage and let's see if we can make this damage more impressive. But like, this team is going to be pretty gnarly. The big weakness of Inithwe, his base stats defensively are terrible. He's super squishy, but he is being protected by Nekret. Duchess is going to revive if they go down. This big shield from Nekret, it's just so hard to kill this guy. And then he's just going to start picking off your champions one by one. If he kills anyone with any move, it's a block revive. Bam. Revive. Blocked. Let me try switch him up into some dirty Savage gear. Let's go all out here. Okay, let's go in with the full Savage set. So what we've done here, kind of making the most of the gear that we had. We're stealing gear off all sorts of different people here. We're 1% short on the crit rate, but we're still keeping a decent speed. We've got 6k attack. And we're coming up now with 243% crit damage, and we're also coming in with a Savage set. So I need to send a screenshot. Let me take a screenshot of that so we can fix the gear if needs be afterwards. We're going to swap this stuff over. Okay, let's see what sort of damage he's going to be doing in Arena right now. So his damage with Savage should now be much, much higher. His crit damage has gone up. I'm automatically attacking the one-person defenses because I'm used to it. We could certainly try against this sort of team. This is a big, tanky team. Can we survive against this? We're certainly going to get smacked. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. This is a nasty team with Hegemon. Can we make it through? He should hopefully be protected and saved by Nekret, and he was. Kaimar puts them to sleep, which is good. We get the increased attack from Duchess. Fantastic. Who do we want to wake up? I guess we can just smack Nekret. That's okay. Or not Nekret, smack Hegemon. All right, here we go. So a couple of them are still asleep. Let's do the AoE hit. Now, of course, Duchess is going to reduce it, but bam, we come in. Wow, we almost one-shot a Coronar. That's actually kind of huge. Duchess went down to around about half HP. Not too bad. We can reset again. Let's give us increased attack again. Why not? Yeah, we'll just smack Duchess here. So they're going to have damage reduction. Oh, okay, so he just protected them. That's unfortunate. Let's see if we can one-shot a Duchess from high HP. Probably not, but let's give it a go. So we go in. It did a good chunk of damage. That almost took her out, but not quite. So his damage isn't going to be quite high enough for that. This is a very well-built Duchess, mind you. Right, that's a very well-built Duchess. We did about over 60,000 damage right there, and she took it. She was totally fine. Let's protect our own Duchess here. We can strip their buffs again. Smack her. There we go. Now, here we go. Wha-bam! Duchess is down. Coronar is almost down. We're ripping through. Coronar has provoked us. He may not be too happy when he sees what's going to happen when he's provoked. Actually, never mind. He is dead already. I think Manaya has a revive on death effect here when she is with Coronar. We don't have to worry about that, though, because her revive has been blocked. So, yeah, Inithwe. It's not the craziest damage output in the world, but it's very good. And obviously we put him with a crazy team here, but he's going to do the similar sort of thing. We're going up against really good teams as well. So unfortunately, Kaimar got provoked, so this is going to be kind of rough. We've got the decreased defense. Will it be enough? I don't know. Will he be fast enough to get a go? Probably not. He's got a shield on. We get taken down by that team. That team there, provoked up. Trunda locks us out. We were too slow, outsped. That was pretty impressive by them, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, these are really good teams. So, yeah, really good team. Oh, we go up against the Foley. Let's go up against the Foley for fun, for the end. Because I think this is the big comparison I want to end on then is Foley, right? How does he compare to a Foley? Because that's the big reason, or one of the big reasons to be using Foley. We have the big hit come in, but we're okay. We have the increased attack. Foley can obviously block revive, man. Look at that. That's against like a not super crazy geared team. Yeah, he absolutely ripped through right there. Wow, boom. Boom. Very, very nice. But yeah, yeah, pretty insane, right? Pretty insane. Yeah, when you compare him to Foley, it's the big comparison. So Foley is useful. He's not always going to be used. Foley has a 4x multiplier on his AoE, but then again, his base attack really is much lower than than Inithwe's is. So Foley's not going to hit as hard with his AoE. Foley also does some turn meter depletion, and he does have a longer cooldown. He's a 4-turn cooldown, whereas Inithwe has a 3-turn cooldown. And then, honestly, Foley's other moves are just not as good as Inithwe's other moves. They just hit much harder. So in terms of this AoE, the AoE effect, right? In terms of that AoE, Inithwe, in my opinion, is now just straight up better than Foley for that AoE hit, right? His AoE hit is going to hit harder, and it's going to block revive, and then he's also going to block revive in his other hits as well, which is pretty huge. One of the differences is that this does attack a targeted enemy twice. So you can choose a target enemy, let's say a Rotos, for example, and you do a 4 times multiplier AoE, and then you do a 4 times single target hit straight after. So that's like one advantage that Foley has. He can target one person in particular, and he hits them effectively twice with the AoE. It's, I guess, sort of a weird way to think about it. So that is one advantage with Foley. And the other big advantage is that Foley is good against champions like Kymar, who put out sleeps, essentially, right? He breaks free of those, instantly removes them, heals them, and then boosts his turn meter. So against Tormund, against Kymar, against the new guy Gaius, there's a few different options here where Foley's passive does give you a bit of an advantage defensively. But yeah, when it comes to a matchup between them, I think they're both good. I think Inithwe is probably overall better than Foley, but only by a small bit. Foley has the defensive advantage. Obviously, that doesn't really matter when we're running with a Necret. I think then Inithwe becomes better. Inithwe has the advantage that he's blocking revive on every hit. He hits harder than Foley, and he's also got an affinity advantage. So it's kind of an interesting top comparison right there. But Foley is certainly endgame viable. You wouldn't use him always. You might sometimes want someone that hits harder. I kind of feel the same thing with Inithwe. His single target stuff does hit really hard. His AoE, it hits well, but it's not the strongest AoE hit by any means, right? It's not the strongest one. It's really the draw is that this block revive, you know, if you successfully kill off 1 or even 2 of the enemy team, even, you're absolutely delighted because there's nothing they can do to really recover. The only thing that bypasses this is Lydia's passive. And yeah, then his single target stuff's really good. We didn't explore him in Ice Golem today, but I do think that he's very good in Ice Golem as well, just because it's going to take too much brain power to come up with a team like that in short notice. But here we go. In terms of his rankings, I think this is pretty true. Yeah, that he's going to be a good nuker basically everywhere, but he really shines in Ice Golem and Arena Offense. And I think these ratings are actually pretty accurate. So you could potentially build a cool Ice Golem team around him because he blocks revives, which is the big danger thing, is that the ads reviving up and then the boss doing a counterattack when the ads are up. That's what kills you. So him permanently blocking revive on those ads makes it much, much easier. And then Arena Offense, I do think that he's going to be very good as well. Arena Defense, I think it's risky unless you've got something like that Necret to protect him and compensate for his really weak stats there. But yeah, I think that the dude, he's solid now. I think if you pull this guy as your Void Legendary, you should not be sad. This is definitely a champion who's useful, and it also includes Doom Tower waves. Very good for Doom Tower waves, right? You're going up against those Sifu Rotos waves. He can just one-shot with a triple hit. He can one-shot the Rotos, get rid of him. He can one-shot Sifis, whatever. Just start blowing them up, blasting them, and you can especially use his attack aura in those situations for even more damage, and he's going to really help you with those waves. So yeah, this is now a good Void Legendary. He's good. I think he's good. He's not like OP, the best absolute nuker in the game without any question in every circumstance. Definitely not. But he's a very good nuker and definitely one that's worth building up and being part of your toolkit. Yeah, I think he's nice. Definitely. There you go. That's Inithwe. Let me know what you think. And yeah, again, big shout out to Faizaji for letting me on his account to check this out. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.